Noisy pixel.
I mean, I can scoot back a little bit if you guys need a little bit more room to scoot.
So we're just streaming this?
We're going to put this on podcast. I'm going to actually put it closer to Victor because he's the
Oh, you're just recording the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, so we could fuck up.
And you're saying I will edit it?
Yeah.
I might edit it. I might not.
Alright,
We'll see
so
how
am I
this
allowed
goes.
to curse?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
That's a valid question.
Alright, we don't have the music.
I mean, yeah.
Well, no, for Victor. He talks quiet. Victor's quiet.
Okay.
And I'm moving it closer to Victor
That's cool.
because he's the quietest.
I agree.
Or you can scoot over a little bit.
Well, stop being quiet. That's like, oh yeah. Why don't you just scoot over? Why don't you get on this wall?
Don't have much.
Get on this wall. Get on the
I
wall.
was in a really comfy spot, honestly. It's really
You're
upsetting.
in the corner right now, Ian. Get on the wall.
I'm gonna get the better spot now.
Get on the wall. Look at this. Ooh. Holla, that's your
gotta get the in
chick. Baby, you know. No?
Oh my goodness.
Okay. That's perfect. We're perfect right now. Alright. 1 minute. Okay. What episode are we on? 54? 53? Oh, shit.
This is my first time ever podcasting. So.
No way.
Yeah.
That's cool, dude. My first podcast was, and only
52.
was on.
We're pretty much in the same boat.
Yeah, dude. So
Were you on a podcast? Were you on an episode?
He's on
I was on one episode.
All right. What's up, nerds, and welcome to another noisy...
Pixel.
I was going to say noisy Newsweek. Sorry, that's the wrong show.
Okay.
What's up, nerds, and welcome to another Noisy Pixel podcast, episode 52 for the week of March 1st, 2020. Right when I said that, a big-ass truck flew by, but we'll continue. I am your host, Azario Lopez, and with me today, in the flesh, Victor Aparicio.
How's it going?
Now we have Mark Damati.
Hey, what's going on, people?
We have Ian Gowlock.
Hey, everyone.
And we have Vic. I don't know your last name.
Pereira.
Easy
Easy peasy.
guys. How are you all today?
I'm doing well. This first PAX, first Boston.
Ah, you
Really
gave it
excited.
away. You gave it away.
No. Oh, I gave
It was a
away.
secret.
Oh no.
Well, now everyone knows where we are.
Gosh,
Was
sorry.
Was it not gonna be the
title? I guess.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I may have already given it away in the title.
Yeah.
The special PAX East episode podcast 2020. We're missing one of the guys that was with us, Leaf. Went home already. But this is the last day. We're done. Lots of stuff to cover. Lots of work to do. But we're just chilling right now. You know?
Yeah, it's been a long weekend. A lot of coverage to make videos for. A lot of things to do. It's been a long, nice, busy weekend. Hopefully everybody here had a enjoyable time.
Oh yeah.
If not a sleepy time.
Yeah, it's my first convention, so to do it for the first time, I was pretty shot, I would say, the entire weekend doing this.
Well, there's a reason why I think you were shot in particular, though, because you had to lug something around.
Yeah,
This giant 10-inch dick.
Oh wow.
lugging cameras.
Yeah. Whoa.
10-inch lenses.
See the size of his feet.
What was it? Because it was like.
Dude, my back would be hurting if I had a dong that big.
Oh, but it's not as big as beautiful as Cesario's brain.
That's true. I'm not gonna beat around that
yes.
bush.
So, yeah, because you did it for we got there the first day you were there, we were filming, it was Saturday, right? And
Yeah, I got there, started Saturday, got here Friday night. First day was Saturday filming. Full day of filming, interviews, holding cameras up. Wasn't too bad, but then you wake up sore, and then you got to do it again. And I wasn't even here all 4 days.
Yeah.
You guys were here all 4 days.
The thing about conventions is you kind of have to forget about lunch. You have to know that you're not going to have lunch because you have so many meetings that are like every hour that there's no way you could leave the convention, get something to eat, and then come back and still make your meeting. And on top of that, you don't want to pay $20 a day for a small 8-ounce bowl of ramen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the nicest thing that I found though was the media room has a water jug. So I and I still have them, bottles, just bottles and bottles, and that's the way I think I survived. Was just like staying hydrated the whole.
Well, I'm glad you told us about that after it was over.
What? No, I lent a lot of bottles to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Well,
and
we
Ian
just
were
didn't tell Zaria.
hydrating like monsters.
If I hydrate too much, I pee too much,
thought
and then I have to find a bathroom that doesn't have a line that goes out of it.
There's that too.
These nerdy guys are just so afraid to piss next to each other, so they'll make a line out the.
I can't do it.
Really?
You can't pee
I
next
can't
to each
do
other.
it.
I
can't
actually find it very.
I got to cut 3 people in line today because
They
didn't
wouldn't
want to
pee.
pee next to
I couldn't
somebody.
do it.
Yeah, it was great.
I was fine up until I was like 10, and then I went to the fair, and this large.
Oh my
gentleman
god!
was
Why are
just
we
like-
getting into?
I'm sorry. I know this sounds.
It's large.
Okay,
What are
this
we
sounds
doing?
way darker than it actually is.
Oh, it
but, like,
does.
but nothing happened.
Okay, that's
Everybody
good.
turned out fine. It's just that it's just there was all these stalls, and this guy chose to just be right by me, and I was just like, oh, and ever since then, man, I just can't.
I find
Anyways.
it comforting, like when you're laying with your bro, and you just put your arm around,
He just wet the bed.
and then you just piss yourself.
I'm genuinely surprised you guys have this
Everybody's
issue.
been there at least once.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely surprised you guys have this issue. Every time I went to the restroom, I was in and out.
Which floor did
No,
you
that's
go
fantastic. I envy you.
to? Which floor did you go to?
Either floor, the top floors, the bottom
Oh
floors.
my
like,
god! Yeah.
I guess I got lucky.
You guys, I guess you did.
I have that problem too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like it, man.
No.
Like I'm
No.
literally like not even a
Nobody
foot
likes
away.
it.
You don't. Yeah.
Nobody likes
He's
it.
just said he
It's-
likes it.
I like it. Well,
Well,
who are we talking about here? We're talking about me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're talking. You said you enjoy it. All right.
It's just like
I think
like anxiety.
well because I grew up wanting to be like a football player or whatever, you know, like that when I was like 11, 12, my dad wanted me to play sports and shit. And when you go to football games, they don't even have stalls, they have just tubs, and you just have to pee into the tub, and there's no urinal, there's just a big ass
See,
tub.
You're just like conditioned to be like, yeah, it's normal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
it's just a dick.
No, it makes
I mean,
sense.
I'm
it's just
more-
a dick, dog.
Well, no,
It's not even about the dick. It's just like anxiety that gets in your head, man.
Yeah, it's just like somebody next to me. It's not the dickness of the situation. It's just
I'm more worried about getting my business done. I don't care about. being
that's
near
great.
other
Yeah,
people.
I'm with you. We'll pee next to each other sometime.
anyway.
I can't talk while I'm peeing.
No, I don't talk.
Don't talk to me.
oh, I'm gonna try talking to you.
Had somebody do that before?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Sometimes when the conversation leads into the bathroom, I will say something or another, but I'll try to limit the conversation or put it on pause.
You know, maybe somebody hasn't because I've been in. It would be creepier if it was in the stall and somebody was talking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Let's get out of here.
PAX was good.
PAX was good.
PAX
Just-
is more about the bathroom than it was about anything else, I guess.
Yeah. We did a lot. We got a lot of content. I don't know what. Okay. Why not just talk about a game that we each saw that maybe we want to shout out for the podcast? Victor.
Oh, Iron
Oh.
Harvest.
Victor.
Oh.
You're Vic on this podcast.
Oh, whoops.
Vic-
we traded roles.
Yeah, not cool, Victor. You go.
Thank you. Well, I really like it when I went over to Focus Home, and I tried out Other Side. I don't know. Like at first, it was the art style that really drew me because like I really like those like black and white, but like a color pick, like a red or
Kind
whatever.
of like Dracula style.
Yeah. And it was really cool. So I was just like, all right, I can't wait to sit this one down. And then I had that slight moment where it was just like, oh, it's kind of like RTS or XCOM-ish or whatever. And I was just like, these games are fine. I'm just like never that good at it. I'm gonna find them hard. But like, it was a very interesting take on it. I'm actually not sure if it's been done before, but they do this thing that's like a timeline instead of like everyone taking their one turn each. It's just like here's a timeline, and depending on your AP, which basically signifies if like you you're more powerful or faster than someone, that's when you're next in line. And if and then you also have these abilities where like if like someone has their turn next on the timeline, but you have like a slam or a knockback attack or whatever, you can hit them and it puts them it throws them back to the back of the timeline, and then it's not their turn next anymore. So I think it's a very interesting take on that, to be like if you're skilled enough, if you know your abilities, if you know how to go about it.
Okay.
Victor tried to quietly walk around the room.
Oh my god.
Well,
I was just gonna say like a car went by to try to mask that, but then he just full on.
Well, you stopped me, so.
okay, so what are you doing over there?
Can you open the window?
For contraband.
Can you open the window?
Can you open up the window?
Yeah.
We're gonna chill right now, fair listeners.
Cut that out. Cut that. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how to. Where are you gonna chop his audio in that one?
Well, to finish my thought, if you're skilled and you know your abilities, you can just kind of slam like your enemies out the way off the timeline, and you can pretty much like delay their turns. So you can just like kind of keep going. But like, there's even more nuance to that, which is like, I'm already like as much as I think RTSs are hard and stuff. Like it's still one that I want to like check out the full release when it comes out. So it's pretty cool.
It's a turn-based RPG.
Yeah,
with like
with like,
tactics, strategy elements,
and there's a bit of like roguelike to it, because like when you're outside of battles, you're going through these days, and like and you have your team are like called daughters, who are birthed from like the energy and the power of the mother who died in the intro. It's not a spoiler, and and you're basically trying to like gain her powers through this experience, and you can only attack these enemies a certain amount of times, like a little bit like mobile games, how you can only like do like 3 puzzles a day or whatever the heck, but except like obviously this is way more awesome and more intriguing. So but there is the possibility of like your daughter's dying, and then you kind of have to start over, birth new daughters, but like they have some attributes that stay the same when you're leveling up, but for the most part you gotta rebuild their abilities and stuff.
Okay, Mark, why don't you give us your favorite game?
I don't know if it's my favorite game. In the mix of recording different things at PAX, I think the most thing I remember, that doesn't make sense. I think the thing I remember the most is Fall Boys, mostly because the booth was just really bright and vibrant. The people seemed pretty hyped, and there was a decent line waiting to play this party game, and it just seemed like a bright environment. People were having fun.
And that's what you're all about.
Yeah, it just seemed, I mean, I probably honestly won't play it. I mean, it just seemed entertaining to watch and be there. It seemed like people were having a good time watching these fat little characters fall over.
And is that what you just like people having a good time?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like my strategy games. I like some Nintendo game. I like a lot of games. It's just hard to care about games and get a job done at the same time.
And there's always Apex Legends.
There is always Apex Legends. It was nice to see. I don't know if there were pros there or what they were doing, like the professional gaming. But there was a lot of, like, Apex Legends going on.
Yeah.
Competitively there, which was nice. It's fun. I like that stuff. I like MLG. I like professional. I like that branch of gaming, It's not always about fun. It's sometimes about winning, all right?
Yeah. Oh. You and Ninja have something in common?
No.
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 Okay. Well, thank you, Mark, for your...
You're very welcome.
Ian?
I play so many games, but when I'm actually thinking about a game that I know that I'll play and finish and just have a really good time is actually the first game I checked out, which is Panzer Paladin, and by Tribute Games. And the whole idea is you are in this big mech, and you can jump out of it. And at first, when I was talking to him, I was kind of under the impression that you had to jump in the mech and out to solve like these puzzles and progress. But it turns out that you could have more of a challenge just staying out of the mech and going through the game like that. There's like, I think, over 100 weapons you can collect, and kind of like Breath of the Wild, you can have these weapons. They actually break over time. You can shatter them, and they can create these spells. Just the whole like aesthetic was really cool. Not even necessarily the 8-bit, but like the promotional art for it.
It's like that TurboGrafx 16 game, the flagship game on that. What was that?
Oh, yeah, I know the one you're talking about, but
It's like that game.
yeah, but it reminds me of like late 80s kind of like anime aesthetic, like mech kind of shit. And yeah, no, it was just really like solid and fun, and you're just battling against the occult for some reason, the demons,
As we do.
Yeah, and
Every day's a battle against the occult.
yeah, and it was just really satisfying. But there were a lot of creative games, but as far as like a game that I know I'm gonna play that, yeah, I'd have to go with that one.
Okay, Vic. Now it's your turn.
Oh, Jesus. I don't have much to say because I had more time behind the camera than playing games. But the one that got my interest the most right now is Iron Harvest. Probably because I haven't played a real RTS in a long time. Frozen Throne and Halo Wars were the last two I played. They're both pretty old. And
Halo Wars is pretty good, though.
yeah, their first one.
The first one.
First
Yeah.
one's pretty good.
Yeah.
Was it Iron Harvest because of how I was playing it, and you're impressed?
No.
Oh, okay.
It seemed pretty cool though.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
I
really
like-
interesting like cover mechanic for your troops.
Game's nerdy as fuck, guys.
Yeah.
I like to see new strategy games though. It makes me happy.
Can we like do that nerd confession thing where like that was, and I say it on what will probably be released, which is that was my first RTS, and it was awesome. It was good.
I'm sure you were very confused.
You know what though? I was, the reason I never got into them was because I always thought they would be way harder, but I kind of got at least the main idea, and I could see myself playing that definitely again. It was
Looks
awesome.
like you're going to review the next Total War. Huh? Thanks for signing up for that one, Ian.
Well, no,
Early
it was like
first.
the whole aesthetic of that was like really, really awesome.
I think like you can get the basics
Yeah.
down, but then once you like actually play with other people and realize how
The strategy.
how
of it.
much it opens up mentally,
Yeah.
and then you start to like really understand how fun the game can be, because
Yeah.
it's not as easy as clicking and buying troops and then sending them across the map.
Oh,
Well, it's
yeah.
it's chess.
Yeah.
There's plenty of rules in chess
Yeah.
that advanced players know. But if you can jump in with two rookie players and enjoy a game of chess, but sitting next to, they'll switch pieces. They'll checkmate you in a few moves, and that's the same with RTSs.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I have no doubt that like if I didn't have his help and it probably wasn't set to super easy, that would have been
You didn't have to say all that.
Oh, yeah, I was just naturally good. Yeah, that's a good choice though.
Welcome to the Joe Rogan podcast.
Welcome to the. I would have to.
How about you?
I would have to say that mine would be. I played a lot of games, guys.
Yeah.
I played a few games that I can't talk about. There's one game that I can't talk about actually. Outriders from Square Enix. The developer is People Can Fly. They were the developers on Bulletstorm, and they co-developed some of the Gears games, so 2 and 3, I believe. And the game really surprised me. I took it as a third-person shooter, and it was more. It had some like Bulletstorm in there. It had compelling narrative that I wanted to play more of. And on top of that, there's an interesting multiplayer where they have these large maps and kind of open design, but they narrow it down with like trees and bushes and stuff, so you can take strategic approaches to the multiplayer genre, where Call of Duty is kind of like corridors and choking points. This is more you use the environment to your advantage, and it's fast. You're constantly switching through weapons, utilizing any kind of supernatural abilities that you gain along the way, and you'll be seeing some gameplay on the website soon.
Excited for that.
Yeah, but if you want to know like weeb games I played, because I know you do, Wonderful 101 Remake is freaking looking good, and that's all I can say about that.
Is it just a remaster? Or is it like a new
remaster.
game?
Sorry, remaster. It's not a new game. There's a UI update. There's some additional systems and maybe a couple. There's a new story or a new character for a 2D like weird. Extra.
Was it that popular of a game to make a remaster?
No.
So
It
what's up
didn't
with the
sell.
remaster?
It didn't sell because no one bought the Wii U. So now they look at the return kind of investment. You spend 3 years. Well, for them, I believe they spent about 5 years working on and pitching Wonderful 101, and in that time, you have to think we spent 5 years of our time, and we launched this game on a console that didn't have an attach rate. No one bought the game. Now we want like a little bit of a return for the investment. Well, here's a Switch, easy to port. We could just spend time porting, and the cost of porting is surprisingly low, and that's why their initial cost is only $50,000, because all they were going to do was port the game and higher resolution, and $50,000 would have let them do that.
And critically, it was like well received, right?
It was one of the only games on Wii U that ran at 60 FPS. So that's a little fun fact for you.
There you go.
But yeah, that's all I can say about that.
Sick.
And anything else you guys want to talk about?
How about like favorite or like most memorable or something like moment? Does anybody have like anything besides like, I mean, obviously game related, but something that you're just like, oh, this went down.
Nintendo fans are crazy.
Yeah, Nintendo.
Yeah,
fans are crazy.
tell them why.
Chanting Nintendo for like an hour. The last hour of the friggin'
Wasn't
the session.
some of our audio might even pick that up?
Yeah.
Yeah. I might have a pin.
Yeah, he got an Isabel pin.
Yeah, I got to meet her too.
Shout out to Tom Nook.
Tom Nook, he almost ran into the bridge, but he was cool. And KK Slider.
You think they're gonna get together after the show?
Get together and like jam? Like KK Slider?
Tom Nook and Isabel?
You could say jam, or you could say.
I think they're gonna have very E-rated fun after.
We'll see what
It's gonna be a nice concert.
We'll see what DVR has to say about that.
Okay, all right.
Sure, they said plenty already.
I did a panel with Monster Vine about Kingdom Hearts, and I probably wasn't qualified to be up there, but I like to hang out, and I like to take as much time as I can to talk about Aqua and how fine she is, and I use the time right now and talk about it right now because I'm not afraid to talk about waifus.
So, hey,
She's 18 years old.
okay.
Okay.
I
Okay.
you live your life, man.
Right.
Do you have a senpai too?
I'm on
No, I don't have a senpai.
this platform.
Mark's my senpai.
Damn right.
But regardless, I had a lot of fun. There's just a ton of stuff coming to the site that you guys will be happy to see, and I'm really thankful for the listeners of this podcast and the readers of our website.
Hopefully someone listens to that part.
Yeah, because evidently you guys only get about 20 minutes in before Brian bores the hell out of you. But I'm hoping this one will be entertaining
Holy.
enough.
Whoa. Dang.
I see the analytics.
Well,
I look at them.
so how about you, Victor? What was your favorite part?
My favorite part, you know what? I did like when, because,
It was the socks, right?
it was the socks.
Dude, this
No.
guy's swag.
No, I like how I was just like, I like how I was just sort of minding my own business. I was just like, I was just on my phone, just making sure to properly tip some very deserving Lyft drivers, Azaria, and the PR for our harmonics, they're showing off Fuser, just came out of nowhere, and they're like the inside joke that me and Ian's got going with the weird dirty voice going on was just like, hey you media, and I was like, yeah, so how's this going? And then like, but anyways, long story short, they're just like, hey, come play Fuser, just come check it out. And I was like, oh, cool. They gave, like, you know, it's like my first media experience, so there's like, they gave me a shirt, they blast me in front of the line and like go over the Fuser to set, and like I just play and I go, oh, cool, and they're like, all right, yeah, here's our card, here's the shirt, and I was just like, I don't know what to do with all this information, but either way, it was very exciting, and it's pretty cool.
Going to events as press, it's sometimes overwhelming, especially when you look at your schedule and realize every hour there's somewhere that you have to be.
Oh yeah.
And you want to like deviate from that, and you want to play something else, or you see something that catches your eye and it takes 20 minutes and you're like, oh, I have another 10 minutes to get over there, and then it turns to 5 minutes, and then you're like, shit, it's across the fucking hall. Yeah. And then you have to beat your way through the crowd, and it's constant.
And it's kind of a bummer too, because those things that you seek out just kind of on your own are things that you genuinely just are like, I'm interested in this, and sometimes you don't want them to feel like, oh, I have to go and do this thing that you know what I mean. I kind of got, I hope nobody felt that way, but it was
I got plenty of those where there's just like really nice people who are just like, it's like, hey, you want to try this out, and like unfortunately I gotta look at your watch and be like, sorry, but like by halftime, like, you know, I'll head on back. But
but so many people were, man, that Fuser, like I was so surprised that was like a thing that came out of nowhere.
I know,
for me anyways.
Well,
I'm surprised.
Anything else we want to say? Is that a good show?
Is that a good?
How long is it?
I would say I had a good experience.
Yeah, what's your favorite
30 minutes.
experience?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I'm not trying to make this a long ass thing.
Hey,
I'm not Brian Lee.
You tried twice.
Reloaded and started firing again.
Right when it gets dull, you really line them up.
Wow. We could do Get to Know Your Pixel. And in this Get to Know Your Pixel episode, we'll ask, do you snore, yes or no? Victor, do you snore, yes or no?
Yeah.
Mark?
I don't think so.
You don't?
Yeah.
Ian?
Apparently, I do for a couple seconds, then I stop.
Vic?
I do not.
Yes, you do, you fucking liar.
No, the
Dude,
proven liar here is Zario. I do not snore. That's not me.
He just met you guys and he's already lying to you. That's not a good way to start a friendship. I don't snore. Because I'm not a bitch.
Yep.
I'm not sure if that's a trait for snoring.
If any of the listeners want to guess who's snoring, like who is bugged by snoring the most, you can make your guess now.
Yeah. Well, you could play the game.
Yeah.
I can listen to rain, I can listen to traffic, but when it comes to snoring, it's the repetitive, like, and it's not even repetitive because every snore is different, you know?
Going into it.
Every snore is different, and since everything's quiet, you always catch those differences, and then my brain, when it catches those differences, it triggers that something's changed, you know? It's not like a drop dripping, like ding, ding, ding. Those are all the same. I can get by that, but when it's snoring, it's different. Every snore is different, and that's all I have to say about that.
Can you get
Put that on a t-shirt. That's all I have to say about
what
that.
about some neighbors humping? Can you get through neighbors humping and they make different noises?
I've never actually heard my neighbors hump.
Huh.
Have you?
No.
I've been in hotels
Yeah.
before. I heard people hum before.
San Francisco, that was... Man, when I was at school, that was
depressing.
just a thing. All right. So well. Yeah.
Mark's done.
Yeah.
So for the episode where we just talk about ourselves now, because that's what we do, I'll tell you that in middle school, people used to call me Payless because I only wore Payless shoes, so my nickname was Payless. And then one time this bully was gonna fight me, and he said, I don't know, he was just bullying me for like the longest time, and I tried to do something. He's like, don't fuck with me because I'm gonna beat your ass and take your shoes. And then he looks down at my shoes and he's like, you can keep your shoes.
Dude, people really just don't like Payless.
Just offended. that was middle school for me.
I rocked a Payless here and there when I was
When
younger.
Payless went out of business, I was like, hit. Time to make a drive. And
I think I
Can't get your airwalks.
I think I actually caught a Payless liquidating, and I was just like,
Yeah.
sweet.
yeah, no, that was
$15 shoes.
That was me. Wait, do we go around? Or I thought it was gonna be like,
No, I just like to talk about myself because that's what I said in the beginning of the episode. And,
sure.
and no one
I
really-
thought when it was like gonna get to know your Pixel, I thought it was gonna be the person that hasn't been on a podcast before.
Oh,
actually, we only did that with you.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that was just Mark, or that was just Victor,
Victor.
being nice.
just being nice.
Oh,
I think that's the episode, guys.
Do the outro.
Thank you so much for listening to episode 52 of the Noisy Pixel Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Noisy Pixel News. You can email us at brian@noisypixel.net. He will answer back. You can send him whatever you want. Send him your fan fiction of me and Victor's love life. And you can follow Victor at McMurr_. You can follow Mark at Mark Damati on Instagram too, right?
On Instagram, it is marked arts. Mark D_arts.
Yes. You can follow Ian at Ian Goudlock.
yeah. At mostly Instagram, but it's Ian Goudlock at anything you search. It should come up.
You can follow Vic at Vic Photography or something like that.
Vic's camera reel.
Vic's
Vic's-
Camera Reel.
Vic's
Underscore.
camera
Underscore.
underscore.
Oh, this
That's
So many
underscore reel.
underscores.
Yeah,
Underscore
it's
reel.
only 2 underscores.
If you want to follow Vic, just ask me. You can slide into my DMs and I'll give you his contact information, and then we'll be friends. You can follow me at Azario Says, and I'm not on everything. I like to stay branded.
well, sometimes the name is stolen, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that.
There's some
Not
people.
everybody can be a Goudlock.
There's some people that have actually tried to buy my Azario names that I have
Oh,
saved.
they DM you for your name?
Yeah, a lot of Brazilian people.
You're gonna have to look out for our name. Sometimes you gotta make sure we own that domain. We don't get it stolen, and then they try and resell it to us for like $3,000.
Yeah, I just updated our SSL the other day, so that should be good. We should be good on that.
Don't take our domain.
Yeah, please.
Or take it. It's business moves.
Thank you so much for watching or listening.
Listening.
See you later.
If you could
Bye.
see us, please send help.
Bye.
Bye.